Hello, welcome to this film review for Chained for Life, which came out in, well, depending on where you look, it either came out in 2018 or 2019. And this is an interesting film. I'm not quite sure what to make of it at first. See, normally when I do a film review, three things might happen. One, I'll watch the film and then I'll instantly tell you what I think about it without really doing any research. As another thing that can happen is I might do a little bit of research of the film I thought was particularly interesting, or I just wanted to learn more about it. Or, in the case of this film, if I really genuinely do not know what to say about the film afterwards, I may go online, watch some other film reviews and see what other people said about it, and then wait a couple of days for me to actually think about it in my head and think, what is it that I want to say? And that is precisely what I did with this film, because it finished and I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't dislike it. Okay, it's not a bad film, don't get me wrong there. But at the same time, what to say about it, I just was like, I'm not sure. So basically, the film is a group of people making a film. Okay, so that kind of thing, that's been done before, that's fairly straightforward. But the problem is with this film, you're not always entirely sure whether you're actually watching the film or whether you're watching the film that they're making or a dream or a daydream or a fantasy or something like that. And it's not clear which is which. And some parts after you watch it and think about it, you think, okay, yeah, that possibly was a daydream or fantasy or something. That bit could be part of the film within the film, and then that bit is definitely the film, if that makes any sense. But there's a few scenes, and it's just left for you to wonder, what was that? What did I just watch? And yeah, so basically, the film within the film. So obviously you have the initial film that you're watching, and they're making a film in the middle. And that film is basically set in a hospital, and it's got people with various disabilities and deformities, and there's some kind of crazy scientist doctor guy who's trying to fix them up. And so, okay, that all seems quite straightforward. And then you have the fantasy bit, which is kind of a mix between the two, but is in fact neither. So yeah. The lead role is Jess Wexler. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. She plays Mabel, and the other lead role is Adam Pearson, who plays Rosenthal. I'm sure I've seen. I'm just going to click on Jess Wexler because she looks familiar. What have I seen her in? Okay, she looks familiar, but I'm just having a really quick scan on Google, and I don't recognise any of the films she's been in. Apart from Teeth, which is stupid. I'm not going to do a review for that one. But Adam Pearson, I have seen him around. Not so much in films, but he's done quite a few TV shows as himself. He has a deformity, which is, blimey, I'm trying to read this. Neurofibromatosis. Basically, it means his face is a bit deformed, and he's been a TV campaigner for disabled people and stuff. That's kind of where I recognise him from. He's done a few films now, but I haven't seen any of them. But he was someone that I've seen around on telly. And his character is like the lead in with the film within the film, if that makes sense. And he's gonna have like surgery to be fixed up, but that doesn't actually happen. Spoiler, sorry. And he has kind of two intros. He has an intro to the film that you're watching, and it's kind of just a non-event really. And he turns up with a bunch of other people on a bus because all the main cast are waiting for them, and he's just sort of there in the background. It really is a non-event. And then Mabel, who you're seeing, she kind of says hi quickly, and then she has to go off and do something. And it really is just an inconsequential scene. But then the film that they're making within the film, he comes out of the darkness and he's saying, don't be frightened. And he says, why am I in the darkness? And then they have this long, the director gives him this long passion speech about why he's in the darkness, coming to the light, and how he's been introduced to the film and how it's all wonderful. And it goes on for quite a while about this, and it's such a stark contrast to his actual introduction to us, the viewer, where it's a really non-event scene. You know, you just don't really take it in, and I think that's kind of deliberate. I don't know quite what they're trying to achieve with such a non-eventful introduction, and yet going on to such a passionate speech about his introduction. It's kind of, it is a contradiction, and I'm sure they're trying to get some message across, which probably is going way over my head. I'm sorry if I'm being ignorant, but it just seems like they're being arty for art's sake, and rather than actually having a message. I don't know. I think the overall message is about acceptance, and you know, for me that's fine anyway. I mean, the line of work I do, if anyone watches my other videos, and someone with a, you know, slightly deformed face isn't an issue, but I suppose for some people acceptance is a big issue, because people look a bit different. But it is funny, I don't know, it's weird. It's like they're sending out two completely different messages, but then they send out another message as well about how he's trying to just look normal, but then that is just like, is that part of the film, or is that a fantasy? Well, you have to watch it to find out. And there are some really weird scenes, like the end. Mabel's in a taxi at the end, and the whole scene is quite a long scene, and she's talking to a taxi driver. You never actually see the taxi driver, and it has literally nothing to do with anything, and yet they really make you watch it for quite a long time. It's just like, why? And it's the same with a lot of scenes here, and it's just like, why? And there's this subplot. There is a murderer about. Somebody is around killing people. And this is completely and utterly inconsequential to the main storyline. It's like, it's just this, that you've got, as I said at the beginning, you've got the film, then you've got the film that they're making within the film, then you've got all the daydreams, and then somewhere over here is this other storyline of people getting murdered, but it's never resolved, it's never explained. There's no conclusion to that storyline. It's just this other thing going on in the background for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's so... Overall conclusions of the film are, it's a strange one. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. And when I've watched other people's film reviews, they've pretty much said the same. It's not what they thought it was going to be. I did watch one where he kind of made it sound more articulate and more fancy than it really is, and I'm basically just sitting here going, I don't know what to say because I'm an idiot. But don't write that in the comments calling me an idiot, because I will block you. I can do that. I can say it about myself, you can't say it to me. But, yeah, yeah, go watch it. I think you should watch it, because I think one of the main things about the film is that it's there to spark debate. It's there to spark debate about disability. It's there to spark debate about acceptance. It's there to spark debate about, was this scene actually what I thought this scene was, and why the fuck was it in the film in the first place? And yeah, so I think the idea of it is to spark discussion, because I think that would work. I reckon 20 people could watch this film, and all 20 of them would have a completely different interpretation of what the fuck's going on. 100 people could watch it, and there'd be 100 interpretations of it. And I can't say if they'd like it or not. I mean, that's completely subjective. But they would all think something different, I reckon. I think maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. I've no idea what they were going for. So my review is, yeah, it was well done. It was put together nicely. There was a lot of POV shots, points of view shots. I had a still camera, a bit like my camera on a tripod, and it was quite close up. So imagine like quite a few shots like this. So it's fairly close to the camera. So at the moment, you're the person. Say for example, I'm Rosenthal talking to Mabel, and then it switches around Mabel talking to Rosenthal, and it does that quite a lot. with other people and stuff, and there are quite a lot of really long still camera shots in the film. I mean, which is kind of nice because I don't like the wobbly camera. I think I've mentioned that a few times in my film reviews. I don't like handheld cameras, but this one went the extreme other way. It was just like holding a camera fixed in the corner of the room and then everyone moving around inside, and it was very noticeably like really long takes, which is quite good, I suppose, but it was kind of really noticeably jarring how long some of these takes were. But overall, it was a good film. I enjoyed it. I can't necessarily say anything bad about the film. I can't put the film down, but yet I can't really big it up either. It's probably telling that there's so few film reviews about it. In fact, one of the film reviews, I found 2 film reviews on YouTube. I only did a quick search. One was some guy who clearly does film reviews on his channel, and the other one I found was from someone who doesn't even do film reviews, but she happened to watch it anyway and talks about it. So yeah, I'm hoping that this one will really help you understand what the film is about. And it won't. I've probably confused you more. Alright, I'm going to end now, otherwise I'm going to start repeating, going around in circles. Hopefully the next film I watch will make a lot more sense, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!